Hi everyone, welcome to the session where we will learn about the holdout dataset. So what is holdout? Holdout dataset is a process where we divide our dataset into training dataset and a testing dataset based on the split. The goals standard is 80 is to 20, or you can take 75 is to 25, 70 is to 30. So, and what will happen when we get the train dataset and test data? What is the function of that? Where we will use train data set. This is a sample of data used when we fit our model. When we write when we create the model SQL, and when we use that fit method, we will pass this train data set. And when we need to predict something to see how accurate, how my model is performing, we need to use this holdout sample or the test data set. Now the steps in holdout method is pretty simple. We need to, before splitting our data into 75 25 70 30 80 20 90 10, we need to shuffle the data in random order before splitting it. Okay, and the outcomes will be like, since the model is trained on different combination of data, it will give us different result every time we train it, and we can never assure that trained data set we pick represent the whole data set. What does it mean? See, suppose this is my data set, this is the index of my data set. Okay, my data set has 4 5 2 columns, 3 columns, anything, but these are the index. When we split it based on 70 30, so it will basically, before splitting, it will shuffle the data based on this random state. Based on the random state, it will shuffle, so that 7 records will go to my train data set and 3 records is populated in that test data set. Similarly, in case of the 80 to 20 ratio, 8 record will be populated. After is this shuffle, it is populated in the train data set, whereas test data set only 2 record will be populated. Same is the case with 90 10 60 40 and 50 is to 50. Like 5 records will be populated in my train data set and 5 will be populated in the test data set after it is shuffled. Where can we use holdout methods? Okay, it is good to use when you have very large data set. Okay, and it's also good to use when we are starting to build a model in data science and we have time crunch. And also, if you have a huge data set where each target variable is well represented, I'll show you the meaning of this well represented. Holding out a validation and test data set may work well and save your time in processing. Suppose I have a data set with, this is my data set. I have this 0 to 9 is my index, and these are my 2 columns. These are my features, and this is my labels. This is a typical case of classification where we are predicting 2 classes, 1 and 0. Now, if you see here, we have 6 1 out of this 6 ones and 4 zeros. So the ratio is not it is not proportionate. It is like 60 to 40. You take a second example where I have these 2 columns. Okay, I have these 2 columns as my feature, and again this is my target. In this case, if you see the ratio is 70 to 30. Okay, so 7 records it will be in my train data set. Out of this 7 record, 5 records it will train with 1, and 2 record it will train as 0. And when I am using the test data set, there are only 2 record, which is the actual output will be 0. The predicted, it depends, but the actual output, so there the model is not trained properly. Okay, so that's the well represented. Okay, it means if you have a huge data set where each target variable is well represented, it is not being represented properly. Okay, so now how does the splitting of data happens using the scikit-learn train test split method? There are 5 parameters in train test split: train size, test size, random state, stratify, and shuffle. I have already created video for random state, stratify, and shuffle. It is present in the same playlist. Okay, and this train size, when we use sklearn.model selection, okay, when we use sklearn.model selection, these are the xtrain, xtest, ytrain, ytest. These are nothing but my after split, how my train data set, test data set, the features and level will be divided. If my x has 200 variables, 200 rows, and if I say that test side is 20, then the ratio is 80 to 20. It means 40 records will be populated in my test data set, like xtray, xtest, and ytest. The number of records here is 200. So out of 200, 160 record will be populated in my xtrain, and similarly in ytrain, and 40 records will be populated in my xtest and ytest. And random state, I just given some values to explain here. Okay, so what I will do, I'll just show you how to implement this train test split using the Jupyter notebook. This, like, I'm importing the iris data set from sklearn, and this is my it has 150 rows and 4 columns. Okay, so my x and my y is also, so if you just view x 150 rows and 4 columns, and if you view y, it has three classes. So what I will do, I'll say from sk. So now I will copy from here. So now what I will do, I'll show you like my initial shape of my x train was how much, 150, and now after I have given this 20, so train and test plate will be in the ratio of 80:20. 80% of 150 record will be populated in X train. First we will see 0.8 into 150. How much is that? 120, right? Now X underscore train dot shape. It is 120. Okay. So 120 record is populated into shape. But if I don't give the train's test size, okay, if I don't give test size, the default value for test size will be 0.25. So we'll verify that. So here it will be 0.75. This will be 112. And if I execute this, so the default value, if you don't use the value of the the test size or the train size, then it will automatically split the value into 75 and 25%. Okay. Even if you want to see the y underscore, let's see y underscore test dot, it will be 38, because 38 plus 112 will be 150. Okay. Similarly, y underscore train dot shape will be 112. Okay. So this is how the train test split occurs, simply using the train test split from sklearn.model selection. Now, what are the limitations of holdout method? Error found is the train in the test data set can highly depend on the observation including in the train and test data set. See, and if the train or test data set are not able to represent the actual complete data, then the result from the test data set can be skewed. Suppose this is my example. Okay, suppose this is my example. When I am dividing this data set, this data set itself has this kind of value. Okay, and when I divide this, okay, the target and this, it will be like this one. If I'm training this out of 7 variables, just take it an example. If I'm training this out of this 7 variables, 6 I am predicting as like I am training my model to learn it as 1, and only in one case I am asking it to learn it as 0. So when I will predict, the output will not be accurate. There will be errors because the training data itself is not sufficient, okay, to train my model. So that's what I'm saying. If the train or test data set are not able to represent the actual complete data, okay, then the result from the test data set can be skewed. And also this holdout method is not effective for comparing multiple models and turning into tuning hyperparameters, which lead us to another very popular form of holdout method, which includes the splitting of data into not 2 but 3 separate sets. Like if you divide your data into 3 sets, okay, see, in case, what is hyperparameter, what does it mean? See, in case of when we train our model with random forest or any other random forest decision tree, there'll be so many parameters like the depth of the tree, number of trees. In case of random forest, number of trees, depth of trees, and there are so many other parameters involved. Okay, so if you want to test it, then just testing it with one train and one test, it will not give you a proper result. So there is one method where obviously there is a k-fold cross validation that I will come later after this topic. But before that, there's something called holdout. Okay, second holdout set, wherein we will create 3 data set. First, we will divide the data set into train data set and the testing or the holdout sample. And secondly, what we'll do, we'll take the train data set, and again what we'll do, before training the model, we'll divide it into a train data set and the validate data set, okay, in the ratio of 80:20. So what happens after that, my original data set, it is divided into 3 parts. My train 60%, validate 20%, and my test is again 20%. So 60:20:20. So what we will do, if we have like if you are using some models where we have hyperparameters, so we can train our model with the 60% of records and then validate, and later on we can test with the 20% of the record. So the way to create the second holdout data set is, first we will import this library, and then what we'll do, we'll run the same xtrain, xtest, ytrain, ytest, okay, followed by, again we'll run the this xtrain train test split for the second time. First time it will be like normal train test split, xtrain, xtest. In the second time, what we'll do, in the first time we will pass x and y, which is my original data set for features and target labels or targets. In the next time, what we'll do, we'll pass the here X train and Y train. Instead of this X, okay, instead of this X and Y, I will pass this X train and Y train. And instead of test size, you can say train size is equal to 0.8. It's up to you. It's totally your code, and how you want to do it's up to you. Okay, so this is how we can easily use train test split to break our data set into train, validate, and test. So that will give you not the best result, but better than one holdout set. The main idea is to generalize the error, minimize the error, and to give you a general answer. Okay, general prediction. Not we don't want it to be. We don't want our model to be overtrained, which is overfitting, and even we don't want it to be undertrained, underfitting. We want it to be in somewhere in the like in between the underfitting model and the overfitting model. Before that, I'll show you how to implement this. So we have our train and test. So what I'll say x underscore train one. So what I'm doing, I am passing here. See, I'm using the same train test split method wherein I'm just the whatever my train data set will be called, it will I have named this x train y train, and this is my validation x val and y val, and inside the train test split I am passing this x train and my y train which I have created here, and I've given the train size as 0.8 instead of 0.2. I'm giving it 0.8, and then I'm simply I'm passing some random set, and will exit. The second holdout data set is formed. So you can see this 112 is further break into like 80%. So 80% of 112 is how much? 0.8. So 0.8 of 112 is 89. So it is 89 here. Okay. So that's how our train test split will work. So the next topic that I will cover is the k-fold cross validation. But before, what I will cover is, see, I've already created this train test split holdout method somewhere around 2-3 years back. But at that time, I have used sklearn dot cross validation. But every time, like in few years, this sklearn methods gets obsolete. So what I will do, my next video is basically related to that how to do this train test split manually, like using NumPy or pandas, not using sklearn dot cross validation or sklearn dot model selection. So it will not be a very lengthy video, but it will be a video where I'll show you without using sklearn how we can do this train test split. Okay, thanks a lot for watching the session. If you feel this video is helpful, please press the like button and subscribe to this channel, and I will see you in my next video, which is related to train test split using manual method followed by the k-fold cross validation. So thank you.